This full moon in Sagittarius is actually cute as hell. I love that we're out of eclipse season. I love the configurations to this new moon, and it might be the breath of fresh air that we all need. So if you are excited to dive into what exactly we can expect from this new moon in Sagittarius this fall 2020, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. We're gonna get into firstly the overall vibe of this new moon. It's not that complicated of a new moon. It's pretty nice, it's clear, it's straightforward, so we'll run through that. Then talk about the relevant world charts for how this is affecting or falling into their lives. And if you have not already seen your November or December, which could be out depending on when you're watching this video, those videos for your rising sign, make sure that you do watch those to know how exactly you will be impacted by this energy. If you're new here, hello, I am Maren. I am a tropical astrologer using mostly Hellenistic astrology techniques, and I'm here in my childhood bedroom still for the videos for this month because I'm filming them end of September for November. So here I am in my bedroom just chilling with family for a little bit. So welcome the nostalgia, the high school yearbooks, these are actually some new sunglasses, but everything else is like 5+ years old, so vintage. But anyway, getting into this new moon in Sagittarius is happening on November 23rd, 2022 at 5:57 p.m. Eastern time at 1 degree of Sagittarius. So we are done with eclipse season and we're now heading into normal astrology mode, which comes with ups and downs, and this is one of the ups in my opinion. So this is happening in the first decan of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a Jupiter-ruled sign concerned with exploration, adventure, opening horizons, being a class clown in life, not thinking about logistics or dependability or what's normal, but really living in the moment, and it's a very like seize the day, carpe diem energy. Sagittarius energy can be a bit like religious fervory of like you need to believe this, look how awesome this is, how can you not? But they're so like lighthearted and the attention span is short enough to where they do move on and they're not going to be controlling. But this part of Sagittarius is actually ruled by Mercury. So it's Jupiter overall ruling Sag, but Mercury is another planet of logic and communication that does make this a more intellectual, a little bit more lighthearted full new moon rather than something that's super heart-centered. But I would say that we have a passion project, we have an idea, and we are literally running with it. This area of the sky, this first decan of Sagittarius, is associated with the 8 of Wands tarot card called the Lord of Swiftness, which is literally about a new vision developing quickly. You are not trying to settle things down, you're not trying to plan, you are running with it. And there's a swiftness, like literal swiftness is how I would describe this new moon if you want to get something around that kind of affirmation. Excitement is developing quickly, there's a theme of exploration, and it's kind of like you get a phone call, you gotta fly across the world, and you don't even think twice. You pick up your keys, you don't even, you forget your passport, and you have to bribe the airport. Like, you just keep doing it. The Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury are all in Sagittarius, which is super exuberant, super lighthearted, it's animated, it's not inherently personal or deeply emotional, and none of the planets in Sagittarius are in a close opposition to Mars in Gemini, because technically Mars is right now retrograde in Gemini, but it's at 21 degrees, and the closest thing to that in opposition is 10 degrees in Sag with Mercury, but it's not close enough. It's over 10 degrees to where I'm not super concerned, and I wouldn't discourage you from using this new moon, mostly the days following it, because if you know, it's best to manifest or start things on the days following the new moon because the energy's on the upswing. I would not hesitate to use them because this is a pretty nice energy and there's not a close opposition to Mars. By sign, yes, there's a bit of frustration or like the fire is under our ass to, in the background, keep fixing shit even as we're doing this, almost like we're trying to rebuild our house, but that doesn't mean that we can't have an awesome day with our like some friend during that time. We're rebuilding and working hard, but it doesn't mean that in an unrelated way we can't go after something we really enjoy. Jupiter and Neptune are also close in Pisces. Now Jupiter is 6 degrees away from Neptune. Jupiter is growth and expansion and opportunity and knowledge, and Neptune is transcendence, spirituality, dreaminess, delusion, nightmares, but also glamour. So having the two together is not just like expansive energy, it's overwhelming, complete permeation of like, I'd say it looks like you're taking ecstasy. Like that's the joke that I would say, is that it looks like a festival weekend. Actually, are there any festivals going on this weekend? That would be lovely, because new moons are usually a little bit quieter and more intimate. So like this would have been the perfect kind of energy for Burning Man. Like this is the kind of thing that I would want, where Jupiter and Neptune are just expanding spiritual horizons and transcendent experiences to a really huge degree. And I think that it enhances the explorative quality to be very psychological and very immersive. It's not as emotional as something that it's not a heart-opening new moon. I say that this new moon is more like incredibly eye-opening, incredibly mind eye-opening and very enthralling. It's a great recovery after eclipse season. I am a big fan of this new moon. Now, the Saturn-Uranus square is still pretty exact in the background, but it is separating. So Saturn direct and Uranus retrograde shows a push-pull between conservative and being safe and rebellion and just fucking shit up. That is still in the background, but it's not really going anywhere, so it's tense, but it's not really the forefront. And I do like that Mars in Gemini is trine Saturn within 2 degrees. It shows that we are having focus and tenacity in finishing what we start, which is incredible for something that is as animated as this new moon, making sure that we finish what we start. Jupiter is also stationing retrograde on this day. So within 24 hours, Jupiter is going direct, which shows that Jupiter is extremely intense and powerful in this. And I think confirms the fact that the ruling planet, like if the ruling planet of this new moon is stationing direct in its home sign conjunct Neptune, what you're starting now will be a big deal for your spiritual growth. It's a very, very pivotal Jupiterian time of start something that you really want to like open your transcendent horizons. It's going to blast off and be really major. For example, this is happening on my natal Pluto in the 12th house, and my Jupiter return is happening as well with this very close to my Jupiter in the 3rd. So something I'm embarking on spiritually, I think will have huge implications for content opening up for me. I just have to put in the hard work psychologically with a new moon on my Pluto. So it's a kind of example for it in my own chart. But if you have any thoughts around how this is playing out in your own chart, please don't hesitate to comment down below and let me know. It's a very beautiful, exciting time, and I would love to hear from you. So this is happening in the US chart right near its ascendant. It's very close. It's in the US first house of identity, and the Mars return is exact. So it looks like something new with the identity of the US, some new initiative, some new trend it's embarking on. But with Mars retrograde in the background, it looks like there's still gnarly election, BS, disputes, chaos, that the new beginning could be an initiative that Biden sets off on, but there's a lot of partisan disagreement and fighting over it. So even though it's like a wonderful energy, the way that it's showing up in the US chart still highlights huge partisan issues and definitely having issues. For Biden, the new moon is also right on his ascendant. It's a new beginning in who he is. It might be an announcement about himself, what he's going after, something that he represents, and it's a very clearly a surface level new beginning. So literally could be like he gets a facelift or something. Like that's the kind of surface level on the edge kind of new beginning this is. For Kamala Harris, this new moon is in her 7th house of partnerships, but Mars is still right on her ascendant. So I think that this new moon could still have to do more with Biden and their relationship with one another, even though it shows that she's having to go back and like fix shit that she's embarked on, and that there's a lot of going back energy around her. For Trump, Mars is right on his sun, so it's still pretty gnarly for him in reconsidering public image or party affiliation, and Mars is exactly opposite his moon, which rules his 12th house of behind the scenes information. So there's probably still attempts and like more campaigns around exposing or around bringing more up around the past or hidden things for him. So it looks like a really clearly difficult time for him, but the new moon is in his 5th house of creativity, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new campaign initiative or a new app initiative that he's embarking on that is actually pretty like positive growth oriented, as he does have his natal moon in Sagittarius in the 5th house. For Bitcoin, new moons are generally local tops where we pump into them and dump out of them. So with this new moon having a trine within 3 degrees to Bitcoin's moon and scoring Venus within 1 degree, I do think that we will pump significantly into this. We probably do dump after. For ETH, this one is scoring ETH's Venus, which is nice. It's not the most configured, but I would conclude that we do pump into this and dump out of it. Now let's pull a tarot card to see what tarot card is coming up for this new moon while I can literally barely breathe because I'm allergic to something as fuck in this house. Whenever I come back to visit home, I'm reminded why the bed might be cozy and it might be great, but like I'm allergic to something in this house. I think there's might be some mold or some shit. I've said this in every video because I'm like so sniffly and gross. We have the 2 of Swords reversed. Now, I know this card very well because my moon is in Libra in this first part of Libra that this card represents. This card represents the first decan or first third part of Libra. Upright, it shows not airing out all the dirty laundry. Like the upright 2 of Swords is like, okay, it's a little tense, but the party's gonna go on and we're not gonna let the elephant in the room bother us. We're just gonna keep a social, like we're gonna smooth it over. Having the 2 of Swords reversed is like we're blowing everything up to the surface. We're not holding back anything. We're engaging in the conflict. We're bringing out all the messiness. The tea is being spilled. So there is an energy of this of like everything is airing out on the surface, and you might be embarking around something really exciting, but it's because there's no dishonesty. There's nothing left. And there could be some issues with like you're going up against someone because there's a lot of conflict between you two. But overall, it's a pretty positive energy, even if it's like there's no holding back the tea. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe. I see that most of you are not subscribed yet, and I would really appreciate you lightly tapping the subscribe button and also the notification bell if you're here to keep up with all the videos. Otherwise, do comment down below any thoughts that you were having, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh, but there is